Most people think wealth is about making money. Earn more. Invest better. But ask any family that's been wealthy for 200 years, and they'll tell you something completely different. Making money is the easy part. Keeping it, across wars, market crashes, and across generations of heirs with their own ambitions, that is the challenge that defeats almost everyone. Roughly 70% of wealthy families lose their fortune by the second generation. By the third, that number climbs to 90%. Which means roughly 10% figured something out. Something that goes far beyond stock picks. Practices repeated so consistently over so many decades that they become the invisible architecture of multigenerational wealth. Today, we're exploring 8 of those habits. Stay until the end. Habit number 8 ties everything together. Many old money families almost never sell anything. Not their stocks. Not their real estate. Not their businesses. So where does the cash come from? They borrow against the assets instead. A family with a $200 million portfolio takes a $2 million loan from a private bank using their holdings as collateral. The interest may be only 2 or 3%. Meanwhile, the underlying assets continue compounding faster than the loan costs. The loan is refinanced, extended, or settled through estate planning. This strategy is called buy, borrow, die. Buy appreciating assets. Borrow against them. Pass them to the next generation. None of this is illegal. It's built directly into the tax code. The wealthy study those rules because they understand how to preserve what they built. A middle-class family sells stock, pays capital gains tax, and spends what's left. An old money family borrows against the same stock and lets the asset continue compounding for decades. Same starting point. Completely different destination. Most parents discuss money with their children at 16 or 17, if at all. Many old money families begin much earlier. This isn't about teaching children to trade stocks. It's about stewardship. The idea that wealth is not something you own. It's something you're temporarily responsible for. Children participate in family discussions about investments. They manage small portfolios. They learn to read balance sheets long before they're expected to inherit significant responsibility. By adulthood, many have spent years preparing for the role they'll eventually assume. The old money approach transforms wealth from a surprise into a lifelong education. For many long-established wealthy families, marriage has historically been viewed as more than a romantic decision. It has also been a financial one. The Rothschild dynasty is perhaps the most famous example. For generations, marriages often occurred within carefully chosen circles to help preserve family wealth. Today, practices have changed. But the principle remains. Marriage has financial and legal consequences that deserve thoughtful planning. Prenuptial agreements, trusts, and estate planning exist to provide clarity and protect everyone involved. Many newly wealthy families discover these realities only after problems appear. Old money prefers to prepare before problems exist. Old money families rarely stop at stocks. They invest in assets that cannot easily be recreated. Land, timberland, water rights, mineral rights, fine art, rare books, historic property. These assets often have another advantage. They're difficult to sell impulsively. A stock can be sold in seconds. A farm can take months. That delay protects wealth from emotional decisions and short-term panic. The best long-term portfolios are often designed to make wealth difficult to access quickly. Because speed is often the enemy of permanence. If you have substantial wealth, you don't simply open a savings account, or you build a family office. A private organization dedicated to managing one family's investments, taxes, legal affairs, estate planning, philanthropy, and long-term strategy. The Rockefeller Family Office, established in 1882, remains one of the best-known examples. Its greatest strength isn't expertise alone. It's continuity. It's continuity. Every decision, every lesson, every mistake, every success, documented across generations. Institutional memory becomes one of the family's greatest assets. Most people think about money in months or years. Many old money families think in centuries. Some create family constitutions that define values, governance, inheritance rules, and conflict resolution decades before those issues arise. Every financial decision is evaluated not only for today's benefit, but for its impact 50 or 100 years into the future. Short-term volatility becomes background noise. The objective is not maximizing returns this decade. It's ensuring the family's wealth continues to exist for generations. Most people who suddenly become wealthy want others to notice. They buy expensive cars, post luxurious vacations, display success. Many old money families choose the opposite. Their assets are often held through trusts, holding companies, and carefully structured ownership. Their philanthropy may remain anonymous. The objective isn't secrecy. It's reducing unnecessary attention, risk, and distraction. Quiet wealth often has more freedom than visible wealth. Everyone understands compound interest. Old money families apply the same principle to relationships. Strong relationships with bankers, lawyers, business partners, educators, and advisors become more valuable over decades. This is one reason elite schools matter to many wealthy families. Not simply because of education, but because of the lifelong relationships formed there. Networks built over generations often become just as valuable as financial capital. Okaying across all 8 habits, one pattern becomes clear. Old money families think differently about wealth. Most people see wealth as something to earn. Old money often sees wealth as something to protect, to strengthen, and to pass forward. Borrow instead of selling. Teach financial responsibility early. Plan major life decisions carefully. Own assets built to last. Create institutions that outlive individuals. Think in generations. Remain discreet. And invest in relationships as deliberately as investments. These principles don't require extraordinary wealth. They require a different relationship with time. Most people optimize for next year. Many old money families optimize for the next generation. And that shift, from the short game to the long game, may be the most valuable habit of all.